Hello, this is J.N.S, and today we are doing a psychoanalysis for further wisdom and knowledge. We are going to be talking about how Black men are naturally egalitarian. I will be proving it. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of how this came to be, what it means to be egalitarian. Then we're going to break down the psychoanalysis of how women and men in 2023 relate to one another, how they are a little off skewed, not even a little, a lot off skewed in how they relate to one another. And I argue it is because we are not paying attention to the laws of gender in terms of electromagnetism and the way we as melanated people view the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So, what are egalitarian structures? What is this idea that I always talk about with the Queen Mothership? When I talk about the egalitarian matriarchal structures that are historical and natural to melanated people, but they were systematically overthrown by the men. And I talk about that in my first book, The Queen Mothership, as well as there is a video breakdown at Nakhti University on the Queen Mothership as well, giving more of the history. We dive deep into history where the book talks a little bit about the history, but it gives you which tribes were practicing this. And it also talks about a more updated version in terms of the tenets and values of how it will look like if women were to implement some of those values, women and men. And then there's a part 2 of the Queen Mothership, which totally focuses on how to build a civilization from the ground up using egalitarian matriarchal structures. Was conducted by me. It's an architecture enterprise that came out of my mind of how Black people should be organizing their own governance and autonomy in terms of their villages and micro cities and towns and what have you. But what is this matriarchal egalitarian structure? It just means that there is no domination based on gender. So in matriarchal structures, you'll rarely see these concepts of someone is more dominant or more submissive than the other person in those structures. Matriarchal societies tend to be egalitarian. And it also means that the organizing ability, the leadership, the governance, the problem-solving capabilities, they come from both men and women. It also women are expected to contribute considerably more in a matriarchy in terms of running the society, in terms of councils and governance. Now, this was always the case for melanated people, whether you are from Africa or whether you are from the North Americas or the South Americas. So what people don't realize is they don't study pre-colonial history before we became subjugated through colonization and slavery. We just completely ignore what the hell was going on before. And our scholars, to be honest, they didn't do the best job of elucidating the teachings, because there is a dark side to our history. See, where I'm not afraid to go and tell the dark of what was going on and what we was doing. I don't give a damn of how it makes me look. I believe that that is the shadow side, the dark side that will also get us to propel us to great heights once we are able to analyze what mistakes went wrong, what we were doing we had no business doing, and the fighting, the tribalism, the Black women and the Black men starting to come into rifts with their governance because the Black man wanted more power and didn't really care for the Queen Mothership governance anymore, and wanted to have more enterprise, his own enterprise in the slave trades with these foreigners. This is something that I break down in my book. This is something that every scholar likes to gloss over. Every scholar knows this. If were a former Pan-African or were into the melanated consciousness or the Hotep stuff, and you study melanated people's cultures and histories, trust me, they know what I'm saying is true. They all know, but everybody buried their head in the sand when it came to publishing or writing about it or talking about it, because it was like just glamorize and glorify and deify Africa, deify the melanated people, and paint them as the victim, and then obviously demonize the Western colonizers, which the Western colonizers should absolutely be demonized. They should have been demonized always. So that's not what I'm taking issue with. What I take issue with and what I argue is that studying what happened between those tribes for pre-colonial history, whether you're in the Americas or in Africa, as melanated people, you will see our own systems, our own governances. What was the breakdowns about? What was the good things going on? What was the bad things going on? Study the mistakes to see how we even got in this situation in the first damn place. And then that will allow us to strategize better to get ourselves out of the situation that we currently see ourselves in terms of being bottom caste, in a system of white supremacy or white fragility. Those things are what I argue needs to be looked at, and it should not be glossed over because it is spiritual, it is historical, and it is the key to getting ourselves back in power. It truly is. It has been divine to me, and that is why we do the work that we do with the Queen Mothership. That is why I talk to you Black Americans, and even melanated people can learn a lot from me, even though they swear up and down, I'm xenophobic. I am not xenophobic. I wish the best for Africa, for Africans in Africa. I have no issue with Africans in Africa. And that goes as well as for the melanated people in the Caribbean. I don't have an issue with nobody. I do call out, however, the hypocrisy of the Black immigrants who migrated to the Americas and aligned with white supremacy. I have the proof that they have aligned with white supremacy. I have the proof that they were treating the Black American very unfairly, very disrespectful, and I called it out. Sure did. And I do it again. And I will always do that. But that does not mean that I have changed my views on how I feel about Africa and Africans in Africa, because I do wish them the best, and I have studied their history. I'm the only scholar that published a rundown of 100,000 years of African history for free on fucking online. I'm the only person that ever did that. Do I ever get any credit for that? No, but it's a fact. We have Chancellor Williams with the destruction of Black civilization. That was great work, and that was what inspired me to do, just video narrative films, just very, very historical, kind of dry for some people, and that could be why it's just history. It's just going through. But what I like to do was go through all of the good things. I went through and showed all of the good things. It's called the Black Man series. Now, the Black Men's. They may say, okay, this girl is out to lunch. Why is she doing this series? But it was important for me, for them to know, these are the things that you were doing before you got subjugated, before we got colonized and enslaved. These were the things that you were doing. These are the things that you were capable of today. These are the things that you need to be studying and learning from so that you can know you have that encoded in your DNA and your epigenetics. I will say this, the Black Man series is more relevant now to those of African ancestry. So if you are in Africa, then you're really going to love it. You're really going to love it if you're West African. If you are indigenous to North America with African ancestry, it's also going to be relevant to you. You can learn a lot from it. But if you are not, and you are just finding out through your genealogy that you have no connection to Africa, and you feel you're on a different path, then it will not be relevant to you. So we're doing so that's why I did that information so that we can shed light on what was going on, but it only covered the good things. I didn't go into the overthrow of the Queen Mothership and the Black Man series. I just covered African history of mathematics, civilizations, architectures, writing systems, all those things. And it was supposed to be a lot longer, but I was getting these little messages. I got a message from a Black man that kind of just discouraged me some years ago, and I just didn't even follow up with it because I was just like, you know what, look, I'm not sitting here doing hours and hours of research, hours and hours collating little music clips and pictures, and I'm telling you guys, hours of research, And somebody that's not willing to do the research just because he's the male species feel like me as a female cannot speak on them when he's not doing the research, when he's not putting any foot forward to discover his own history, and takes issue with a woman doing it, even though I'm melanated. So I said, you know what? And this is the response I get. Oh, so the Black Man series was supposed to be much longer. It was supposed to cover spiritual systems. It was supposed to cover politics. And I said, and I had the research lined up too. I said, you know what? Our people need to see this. They need to know what the hell they've been doing before they got enslaved, before they got colonized, because they acting like bumps in the logs. They act like they don't know how to build for themselves and do self-autonomy today and self-determination today. So when I see that you could be ungrateful like that, Queen Mother Kali J.N.S says, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You will not be ungrateful and expect me to mule. No. You know, when the community is showing their appreciation, that is what encourages those who are ready to ride out, those who want to be involved in their community. That's how you incentivize them. You don't incentivize them by being ungrateful and coming to them trying to put them in a box or trying to tell them they shouldn't be doing the work they're doing. You shouldn't speak for me because you're not a Black man and all this stuff. It don't work that way, because plenty of you love to speak on Black women. So you damn right I'm going to be speaking on you, because I've been studying your history. I've been studying everything you've been doing for years. Everything you've been doing for the last 100,000 years, Kali J.N.S knows exactly what the Black man has been doing. The good and definitely the bad. So you best believe that this is the type of time I'm on. Okay? So today I'm speaking on you again, Black man, and we are covering and we are covering your natural egalitarian states, which is within your epigenetics and within your subconscious mind. And we're going to be doing a case study on how you've been showing subconsciously that you are naturally egalitarian, and the Black woman has forgotten that she is God. She has forgotten her true nature. She has forgotten about the Queen Mothership. So she does not realize that the misalignment is coming from both ways. But what she has not realized is that she has modeled, as well as the Black man, has modeled their ideas of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, off of Western patriarchy, Western pedagogy, and they have not went back and studied their pre-colonial history. They refuse to do it. And this is where the bullshit starts, because they don't want to face that shadow side to realize what really got us enslaved, what really got us colonized, and who contributed, who did what, who just let it happen, who just did all types of backstabbing and bullshit. Because we want to paint this narrative that they were sitting idle in huts, not knowing nothing, and white boys came with guns and ship you on boat, and that was it. When that was not the case, when these were enterprise business deals, when these were governments working with one another, selling other tribes out, setting people up, vying for power, getting to war over power, taking each other out, fighting with the white man, fighting with the Black woman, fighting with other tribes. All types of shit was going on. And governance broke down, and the Queen Mothership was definitely overthrown. The Queen Mothership and the ATR systems were all reversed. Everything got reversed. A lot of the divine feminine sciences were reversed and hidden and only relegated to mystery schools, mystery sciences, and occult orders, where you couldn't learn about the true information anymore. It was all hidden. So what's happening even today is that the essence of the divine feminine has been hidden from women themselves. They have been given redacted versions of the divine feminine based off of religious dogmas and the system of patriarchy itself. So we're going to break that down. Now, the true divine feminine, it represents the quantum field. Okay? It represents quantum plane. That is the triple darkness, your chaos, your creativity. It is the energy of creation itself, which is why all mammals, they start off as what? You start off as a baby girl. You have the uterus inside your body with 2 ovaries, everybody. Now, around the 2nd month, you have to have enough androgens. You have to develop androgens to offset the estrogen, and you can turn into a boy. This is science. You can look this up. Everyone starts off as a girl. Now, for men, when you see those 2 balls in the penis, when you see those 2 balls, those are just your ovaries that dropped. The shaft is the uterus wall that fell out of your body. This is just known things. This is what happens. This is the science behind it. Now, we can also get into the laws of electromagnetism, which also shows the science of the divine feminine and divine masculine, which also shows how the electron and the protons interact with one another, the positive and negative ions, but the negative gives rise to the positive. And we always associate the divine feminine with the negative electron because she is the creative spark. She is active, and she represents the subconscious realm, explosive dynamism. When you talk about that raw, dark energy out in outer space right now, when you look at that universe, and you know, when the sun went down and you see that universe, that's the quantum plane. That is where you get your raw creation, your raw creative spark. Everybody is born in darkness. They are born in a bubble of melanin. We know these things. We know that we live in a one big ass vagina, basically, a dark womb. When we don't understand the full totality of the divine feminine, you know, we sort of come up with these ideas that are archaic, that are deeply unscientific, that are nonsensical even, of what women should be doing, what men should be doing. Women need to do this, women need to do that. How can you encage the quantum field, the raw divine feminine, and says she got to be submissive and all this stuff, and it's very childish thinking, to be honest, and I'll break that down. The divine feminine is the most powerful energy on the planet. It is completely explosive, but the science and the teachings of what the divine feminine is has been hidden from melanated people, and I would say even globally. It's been hidden because it's the energy that works the fastest. It's the energy that is the most powerful and the most dangerous. Now, the aspect of the divine feminine being nurturing, that's obviously true. When you think of the concept of the mama bear, how mama bears are so extremely protective of their baby. When you think of the lion female, when that energy is real, mama bear energy. My mom actually calls me mama bear. She actually called, because I swear I'm everybody mama. She says he calls me mama bear because I'm extremely matronly. I have a very protective nature over children, over people I care about, and even just the way I talk about the community could come off extremely matronly. So that's just my nature. But yes, there is an aspect of the divine feminine that is nurturing. But again, let's not forget that this is the realm of the subconscious. This is darkness. So you're going to have that aspect that is always creative, always in creative mode. When they talk about the divine feminine is so passive, is so soft, that's just not true. Now, I can go through all of your mystery schools. I can use literally just science. I can explain these concepts just using scientific terms, or I can go through 22 religions, literally 22 religions and their doctrines, and prove that my definition of the true divine feminine is in alignment with what I'm talking about. When I talk about the quantum field, when I talk about triple darkness, when I talk about the energy of pure rawness, I can go through 22 religion texts right now, and we can really study this, and we can really go through, how the divine feminine aligns with everything that I'm saying, and that people know this information but has hidden it from you. People don't know this, but I have a master's degree in religious studies. So believe it or not, That's what actually opened my eyes to how something just was not right with the way society was being ran, and the suppression of the divine feminine. I knew immediately. I'm like, huh? And whether it's the Upanishads and Hinduism, the Upanishads or the Tantra Agamas, we can go through the nature of the divine feminine. We can talk about Shakti, and Shakti is the creative divine feminine concept in that religion. We can go through, like, say, studying the Avalokiteshvara, in Chinese Buddhism. We can go to the ATRs. A lot of people don't know, when you talk about the Onia Ifa and we talk about the Oduduwa, what does Oduduwa mean? Glory to the womb, the black womb. These religions talk about what I'm talking about. They talk about the explosive nature of the divine feminine, the raw, dark aspect of the divine feminine. It is not just this light, fluffy, pink, and girls wearing pink and heels, and you gotta put some lipstick on. That is completely perverted. That is not what the divine feminine, it's an aspect of it. Of course, you have archetypes within the divine feminine. You have archetypes. In addition to the duality of the dark and the light feminine, you have archetypes within that. The seductress, the siren, the old maid, the mama bear. You have archetypes. So I'm not saying that that's wrong. It's not really the right words that I want to use for with right or wrong. It's more so I want to say misguided or just heavily out of the middle path. The middle path is the way to go when we think about these type of things, because on one extreme you can demonize the divine feminine and put the divine feminine in the box, and in the other extreme, you can really go off the deep end on either way. So it's always a balance with me, so then I can talk about, we can go through Judaism. We can talk about the first creation story with Lilith, who was created first, then Adam. We can really go there, because that story is not, I don't like to talk about that in Christianity. How the hell are you talking about Adam and Eve but don't talk about Lilith? How I don't get that. See, because they want to hide it. They want to hide those things from you. Lilith represents an aspect of the dark goddess. This is once again that raw dark energy, and they don't want to tell you about that. They don't want to tell you about the Lilith. So most humans, they got her all mixed up talking about she represents a whore and all this. I'm looking like, what the hell? Are you crazy? But this is what they have done to melanated people and people globally. The human race is completely under a very dark spell when it comes to tapping into their full knowledge base on certain things. And one of them is the divine feminine, but that information is hidden. It's occult. You can get your hands on it. Like it's not like it's, you just have to do more research. You have to dive deeper, and you have to get past all of the programming, the social engineering, the indoctrination. You have to get past all that to get to other levels of understanding regarding the divine feminine and even the divine masculine. So they don't really talk about the Lilith. They demonize these things. Oh, that's a demon. Oh, and it's like, whoa, you guys are so off kilter. It's not even funny. Then we can go into Christianity, and bring up the original teachings of Yeshua, which you guys call Jesus. Why y'all not talking about the original teachings of what he said about the divine feminine? He said the same thing I'm saying, but it was removed. You can find this in the Nag Hammadi text. Look at the Complete Gospels. That's a book I want y'all to go get. The Complete Gospels, or study the Nag Hammadi text, and then also study the Emerald Tablets. That's really gonna blow your mind. But the Nag Hammadi text and what Jesus was saying about the divine feminine and how he was going to lead the disciples to follow Mary Magdalene, and the disciples said, "Oh, you got to be shitting me. We are not following a woman. And he went off on them. He was like, are you kidding me? Let me tell you something about the divine feminine. This is where it's at. This is the key. Okay, you don't get like everything else you've been taught is a lie. They took out all the passages of Jesus astral projecting out all the different planets. They was all astral projecting out to different dimensions and shit. They was doing mad stuff and I'm like, but they took it out because they didn't want you to understand physics and chemistry and the laws of electromagnetism and the nature of the divine feminine. What he had to say, this Jesus figure, and I don't judge what people believe in. I do not judge. Many people love Jesus. They say that he's their savior. And I grew up Baptist. I grew up Pentecostal. I was doing Pentecostal then Baptist. I am also an ordained minister. So I know what's in these books. My thing is, I've also studied pretty much every religion again, I have a master's degree in religious studies. So I studied it. We were required to literally study every religion for the most part. I mean, depending on like what courses you take or with the nature of the course itself, I have studied Buddhism, I have studied Sikhism, I have studied Hinduism, I have studied Judaism, I have studied Islam, I have studied Christianity, Zoroastrianism, ATRs, occult sciences, obviously Egyptian pantheon, all different types of mythology, whether it's from Rome, whether it's from Greece, the Sumerian text, you name it, the Babylonian text, all of it. So, I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this divine feminine. Okay, I know y'all got this backwards as hell, especially black people. The black men, y'all out here just completely out of your mind because you always knew these sciences back in the day. I'm not talking about maybe, obviously I'm talking about like 1500 years ago, but you always knew these things. You're the one that went and ran your mouth because you weren't supposed to be. The black woman taught you these sciences because this was her works, and you ran your mouth and it was giving information to foreign people. Yeah, we ain't talking about that. We don't want to bring that up. Okay, so again, a lot of stuff has been removed out of your Bible, and even Islam, y'all don't even understand that Islam correctly. Oh my gosh. But again, you got to meet people where they're at, and some information, to be honest, it's not even, it's like, I'm the school of thought of let humanity know the truth. Let humanity give them the truth. Smack them dead in the head with the truth. Smack them dead in the head with the knowledge. I don't believe in a such thing as, you got to earn this enlightenment. You have to learn. You have to earn. Are you worthy of receiving, this wisdom, this occult knowledge, this secret science? Are you worthy? You're not worthy. You need to put yourself through tests and show and prove yourself worthy to get access to high power knowledge or to esoteric knowledge or high level science. I personally never approach anything that way. I'm like, no, give it to them. Smack them in the head with it. Wake they ass up. That's my approach. But I have to say, a lot of people, they call me on the phone. They say, they're not ready for that. They're not ready. You talking too much, and they're not ready. And I'm a renegade out here. I am. I don't belong to any orders or anything. So I'm like, I study a lot and just go and put it out there, and, I've been told, don't be giving them that information. That these humans are so, like, people really be like, and a lot of us are avatars. A lot of us, you think we human, or you think, we're highly evolved spiritual beings. Some of us have multiple lifetimes. Some of us, are deities in the form of humans, or we've become ascended masters. We're on here to teach and to lead humanity to a higher consciousness. We want humanity to thrive. We want them, having free will and able to truly be the spirits that they were born to be. So you have some of us that's like, they need this knowledge. They need this truth. And you got others that's like, absolutely not. They will not understand it anyways, because they've been, obviously there's brainwashing mechanisms. But They're not going to understand it. They're going to scoff at it. They're going to tramp all over it. And it is powerful knowledge get in the wrong hands. They're going to do something stupid with it. So, I'm like, I've literally have gotten phone calls from other avatars, other people, who appear as people, but it is what it is. They tell me straight up, them humans are so stupid, they can't even figure out ketchup, the ingredients in a ketchup packet. They're not worthy of this information. They're not worthy. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. As I get a little older and more mature, though, I would never say not worthy or stupid or nothing like that. But I kind of see like it's not worth it. I would say that it's, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's appreciated. And it's not even that it has to be appreciated, but it's like, when I say it's not worth it, it's just kind of like, you kind of have to let people, you have to just always meet with the people that you resonate with, and don't feel that you have to kind of save people. You know what I mean? Like, it's something where you have to make peace with yourself and realize that where these people gonna think what the hell they gonna think, and it is what it is. So, to get back on topic, I've been studying these things for a while now, and I can tell you that most of what you've learned is inverted. You've learned things in reverse, kind of, to a degree. Not everything, because you always have to sprinkle in the truth with some lies. You have to sprinkle in the truth, or it's not going to be believable if you completely just deviate from one's nature completely. So there is some truth in a lot of the things that's out there too, but it's a lot of redaction. It's a lot of nonsense. And, back to the topic of, why is the black man egalitarian? Why is he egalitarian in the first place? Well, because of the Queen Mothership that they lived under for thousands of years before they overthrew it. They overthrew it, and it backfired, because as soon as they overthrew that shit, we ended up colonized and enslaved. They don't want to tell you that history. They don't want you going back studying it too hard. I'm telling you, I've already done it. I'm telling you. You're gonna be mad, Black Moon. I'm saving you the trouble. You just need to you can research it yourself, but you're gonna be looking sideways. But the Queen Mothership ended, but for thousands and thousands of years, a lot of melanated people were just naturally matriarchal. They did not have Islam and Christianity. Islam and Christianity comes much, much later. These are very new religions. And Islam is about, 1,000 years, 1,500, 1,000 years old? I mean, come on. You're talking about, you got whole empires that's 5,000 years old. That's 6,000 years old in Africa. You got no civilization that goes back 20,000 years ago. We know what no civilization is from in West Africa. That's 20,000 years old. So what was you doing before those whole before the Islam and before the Christianity? What do you think you were doing? So that's what I went to go and look at. I wanted to study that. So yes, they were matriarchal people, our ancestors. Now, if you're from indigenous North America and you're melanated, many of your tribes were matriarchal as well, and more matriarchal than patriarchal. You can count them, and you have to be honest with the research. But if you go back and count which tribes were matriarchal and compare them to how many tribes are patriarchal pre-Islamic period, pre-Christianity, then you will see what I'm talking about. You will be like, okay, and even if you from India somewhere, East Asia, South Asia, if you were to study that culture, you will see the same thing with melanated people. So these things happen. We've seen a switch within the last 2,000 years. We've seen the switch to patriarchy during the Piscean age. This was all preordained. It wasn't like we didn't know this was coming, but the way things went down was very shocking to us. It was very shocking to see, the level of depravity that happened to melanated people amongst their own in their quest for powers, for greater power, for greater infrastructure, enterprise. It did cause a great deal of destruction for everyone involved. The men and the women, we suffered dearly. Then you had handmaidens who also assisted in the demise of the Queen Mothership, because these were women that wanted patriarchy. These were also women that did not have major roles in the matriarchy. They weren't powerful. So they already felt like, I don't benefit from this system anyways. I'm just a concubine, or I'm just a whatever it was. They felt like, they wouldn't be able to get to certain positions. So they went with the men. They decided to go with the men, but the queen mothers, they were killed off systematically. Many had to run. Many had to pledge their allegiance to New Order, and they had to do what they had to do to survive. But many were killed, and the women were systematically disempowered. And sometimes it was not just a black man who enacted. A lot of times it was just the process of getting conquered, and the switch over from just being conquered as well. So this is what happened. Okay. So black women, they're failing to understand their true nature as it relates to the divine feminine. So they keep getting got. In 2023, the black woman is still getting got. She's getting played out of her womb. She's getting played on every front by her sons, because she's not tapping into that dark energy. She's not tapping into the raw divine feminine. She's thinking that she's innately inferior. She's thinking that she has to follow patriarchal religions that are redacted, that do not give out the truth of these religions. That you don't study them hard enough. You don't go into their occult origins. You don't go into none of these religions in depth, the mysticisms of these religions, to start to discover the divine feminine, or even the hidden parts of it that is removed from society. So she's not doing these things. So they're getting got. They're getting got because they won't form their own infrastructures. They won't tap into their power as women to build those infrastructures for one another, so that we can have safety nets and we can have sisterhood. And the reason why it's not happening is because they think that the men should do it. Women won't build infrastructures for one another. Mind you, I didn't say build it for a man. I said you won't build the infrastructures for one another when you're actually capable of it. And I can show you your history of you gladly doing this, of you always doing this. So you won't build the infrastructures, and so you think the men should build this for you, and you think that they're going to do this when, again, they're naturally egalitarian. They lived in a matriarchy for thousands of years over the patriarchy. So in their epigenetics, they don't have. I'm telling y'all that it is deep science to this. This is epigenetics, and you may get uncomfortable with that. You may really get upset at that, but this is the truth. Why you think that we always talk about why he don't want to do this? Why he think I need to do everything? Why I gotta do everything? And I'm not saying that, but the way it's set up is very perverted. I don't think black women should be muling. I don't think black women should be the sacrifice in this community. I don't think they should mule at all for the community without any reciprocation, commitment, loyalty. And I think that they should demand it. I think they should build systems and processes for it to take place within that. See, the black woman doesn't want to step into who she is because she doesn't know that she's God. She has this aversion to building the infrastructures for one another. She doesn't see that as a vital thing to do. And they pay the price for being male identified. You get 72% out of wedlock. You know, you have a 35% chance of being killed by your son more than any other women in the country. 1 in 3 black women, 60% of black women face sexual assault by the age of 18. You have a 39% marriage rate. You're doing 50-50. You're not practicing hypergamy. You're arguing with your sisters. You don't have infrastructure for yourself if anything is to go awry outside of what the government can offer. So these things have happened because as a result of you refusing to tap into the divine dark feminine, your true essence, which is proven in your history, which is proven in your religious systems most likely, which is proven to be natural to both of you. So the Queen Mothership is natural to Black Americans, is natural to the Africans. But for some reason, y'all don't want to look at that history because y'all don't want to study it. You know, it just is ridiculous to me. You know, so Black woman, when I say build those infrastructures for yourself, just know that I'm not saying that you gotta be manly and do what men do, because I guess you think that that's gonna be masculine. What I'm saying is the governance in terms of the governance in terms of the planning ability, the organizing ability, coming up with the committees, coming up with the councils. And I wrote about all this stuff in my Queen Mothership Part 2 book, Enterprise Architecture, to build these cities out, to build these villages out for Queen Mothers. Chapters where you do have the men in positions of leadership and the women. The men are not off the hook. They have power within the Queen Mothership. They always had. There were always kings. There were always chiefs. There were always governors who were males and females. But when we talk about the infrastructure, you were always ahead of that. Believe it or not, you just were. You know, and for us to refuse to study that or to bury it, it's like y'all purposely want to bury that history for some reason. And I'm bringing it back out. I'm like, absolutely not. Because this is the key. This right here is the key to getting our asses back in power. This is the key right here. And once I see that that's the key, and it's been revealed to me on multiple planes, on multiple dimensions through various entities, very high power entities that are ancient, that will not lie, all through dreams. Of course, this was all through dreams. But if I was to shed some light on some of the information that I know that I have been given, that most of my information, believe it or not, you know, I don't toot my horn or whatever, but I have been told by many of people that I am very, very intelligent. I have been told by multiple people, including my own parents, my biological parents, tell me I'm genius. Like, I've been hearing multiple times throughout my life that I'm a genius, you know. But believe it or not, that information, that gift, it comes from the Most High. That gift and the knowledge that I get, most of it comes from the Most High. It is a channeling. It is a gift that has been given to me that I'm very grateful for. And yes, I have to study, and I like to read stuff, and I like to look at artifacts. I really like to get into the details of things. But most of my information, it'll come through a dream. It'll come through communication, and all I got to do is go look it up. You would be shocked the level of information with the names, the spellings, the systems. Like, I remember one time I had this dream, and it will be showing me something about, say, like a Enochian magic system. It will show me that all I got to do, and I will get the spelling, and I will know nothing about it, know nothing about the topic at all. And all I have to do is just get up, remember what I dreamed about, go on the internet and look that shit up, go to the library and look that shit up. This has happened countless of times throughout my life. It has happened with physics, math equations. It has happened with theories. It has happened with sciences. It has happened with so many things. Just the other day, this entity in my dream came to me. His name was Arakiel, Arkiel, Arakiel. And I don't know nothing about, you know, certain entities, fallen angels or archangels. I know a little bit about the archangels, but this is I don't know. I never heard of this name, spelling, being in my life. Came to me, revealed some stuff to me. Come to find out he's the guardian angel of the earth. Come to find out, I look at this up on the internet and he really exists. He really existed. This has happened multiple times. This has happened with a Buddhist goddess before. It literally just happened with another entity named Orishkaya. I don't know nothing about the Orishkaya. I knew nothing about this person. They came to me, gave me the spelling of their name and everything. All through dreams, of course, through dreams. And I wake up, go look it up on the computer, and boom, that shit really real. And this has happened with so many things. Even with the Queen Mothership, I was shown visions of the Queen Mothership in Africa and in Americas. I was shown visions of the black man and the black woman in the noble class clashing. And I said, I said, do we have matriarchies? Was the women real powerful or something? Because this black man and black woman, they going to war for power. I was seeing them lined up like how you seen in the Woman King and all that stuff. I was getting visions of that. I was seeing that. I was like, whoa. So I had to look it up and boom, it was true. Same thing with Kali Ma. Same thing with mad shit. Like, it's like, I'll get visions of it. I was shown visions of the way the universe worked. Go look it up online. Oh, it's really a field on that. It's really a theory on that. So I say this to say that my knowledge is coming from a higher power. And what I do is have to go and study it. Go get the confirmation, go get the actual knowledge. So I will not lie to you about this history. I will not tell you something that you cannot look up yourself. So yes, the black woman is very capable of building infrastructures for herself, and it is the right thing to do in today's day and age. This is the key. This is the key to getting us out of our situation. It really is to develop parallel governance that is aligned with melanated science and universe, with strategy that can run parallel and give us our autonomy to practice self-determination instead of having to rely on systems that currently subjugate us, that we are unfairly treated in. We need a key. We need a roadmap. That's where the Queen Mothership comes in, because we're developing a whole governance systems of how to run a micro cities, how to build our own, how to get our own water, how to get our own food, how to get our own shelter, how to build our technologies, our innovations. Oh, how are we going to get into fusion power? How are we going to get into nanotechnology? How are we going to get into antimatter and run our own, develop our own energy sources for not just the world, but the universe? I talk about this in the Queen Mothership book. I talk about all these things that's going to help us get, how would we run a society if we don't have money? What can you exchange of value besides currency if, we have to develop our systems from scratch and we get locked out completely. We cash strapped. I studied this stuff and I put it all in the book for us. A lot of the information comes from, again, Kali Ma, and it's there for you. It's there for us to work together. And guess what, black woman? You're going to have your black man. I did not leave him out of the picture, because I know you ain't leaving him. As much as you claim you're going to divest, you're going to do this. If he don't get his act right, he going to do this. Only 12% of you are dating out. So that means there's 88% of you just doing whatever fuck you want to do in life, and then maybe 6% gay or something. But your ass, you tell me every day, and this is only for Black Americans. I can't really speak for the diaspora because there's a different story in Africa. These women's are ready to they're divesting in Africa. They're doing their thing in the Caribbean. But for this Black American woman, which is where my tribe is from, they are not hearing. They want, to be with the black man. A lot of them are not dating now. A lot of them, that's their preference. I don't judge what black women do. I don't care. That is like the lowest. What you do with your motherfucking pussy and dick will always be the lowest of my worries. Like I don't give a damn what you do with your neither regions. I don't get into that. That's not my specialty to worry about that. I love sexuality. We could talk about sexuality and I like spiritual sexuality. We could talk about that all day. But I'm not out up here about to sit up here and judge you or feel a type of way of what you do with that vagina. Unless you hurting a kid, unless you hurting a kid or an animal, then I ain't got nothing to say about what you're doing. Or if you doing something to get somebody consent, you doing something you got no business doing. But other than that, who this black woman is dating, I don't give a damn. But from what I see, you're telling me it looks like the black woman's doing all this complaining, but it's just lip service because she's still dealing with the shit she's dealing with this black man. So what I say is, hey, let's do the Queen Mothership then. Black woman, let's build this infrastructure out and get into positions of power, and by relying on each other, and let's just run our community the way we want to run it. Let's go back to the Queen Mothership, and obviously there's going to be men in power. There will always be men that help you run that Queen Mothership. There was always men in the Queen Mothership of power, chief kings. Today, they would have to be like council members or board members or something like that, But it should always be man, woman, and child, and this is no slight to anybody that practices, LGBT. I'm not judging that. But what I'm saying is, this governance, the women do a little bit more, but they also have benefits. It's benefits for men and women. And the Queen Mothership, for women, they have a lot more power. For the men, it's less you're less judged on your resources. You're less judged on okay, if you have money becomes less important. So male competition, believe it or not, it goes down just a tad bit in terms of men having to prove dominance through resources and money. That's not as important in a matriarchy. So it may not even be important at all, depending on the village and the tribe. But the ability to be resourceful becomes more important. So the skills that you can bring to the table instead of the money, the skills become extremely important in a matriarchy system. So there's less stress in that regard. I gotta go out and I gotta get this money. You still have to do maybe hunting, again, the skills, hunting and fishing, stuff like that. The carpentry, being an electrician, being a plumber, those skills are what you'll be judged by more, and not so much, okay, as you're making this amount of money, you got this type of car, you got this type of looks, it's we need infrastructure running. So what skills do you bring to the table? And through cooperatives and through incentivizations of working together, the cooperation aspect of incentivizing one another, that's what becomes important. Also, the women do a lot more of the planning and organizing. They have a lot more say in what society looks like, what culture looks like. And they have to do that in a fair way because, again, these are egalitarian structures. So they have to consider what the men want. They have to consider what the men are saying as well. But they have a lot of organizing ability, planning the abilities, and they get to focus on culture and focus on developing the values and culture of society. And again, this is done within parameters. Men have input as well because they have to vote on a lot of these ideas anyway. So it's not like the women just get to choose and then the men have to just go along with it. Everybody has to vote. They have to say, okay, I like that idea. I like that policy. I like that proposal, or no. And so in that regards, the women just do more of that planning. So the males are expected to spend a little more time with their children. They have more time for child rearing. They can take their kids hunting. They can do all types. Again, I'm thinking this system is based off this matrix. This is not a system that will be on this matrix. Everything you think of in terms of capitalism, in terms of Western society, it's a bit different because this is a whole nother system. It can run without money. Now, I do have ideas for building the economics within it in terms of community trust funds, in terms of pulling resources together. That's always a thing, but it can run alternatively through barter economy as well. It can run alternatively with skill exchangement, with barter services. So it's not a system that is on the matrix. So everything you think you know in this Western society, you're going to have to reverse it. Not so much reverse it, but you have to just think of what it will look like in melanated society. And again, this is based off of pre-colonial history. So there's benefits for men and women, however you want to look at it, and what they go with egalitarian matriarchy, just like there's benefits for men in the patriarchy. There were benefits for women and men, but things have changed because of the modern, because of the industrialization period, and now we're in the tech age. But women, it's these tech jobs. Women started to go to work. Women, they're working now. They're doing all types of things now. They're not necessarily focused on, okay, if they stay home and they do the house stuff, the men goes out and work. That's the idea of patriarchy. You let the men lead everything. Black people don't have a history of that. They just don't. And besides, when they come into contact with Islamic Christianity, but this is what the white people do. They have very staunch ideas of patriarchy, and Black people are for copying them. They think they have to do what they do. So that was a benefit I propose. I suppose for women it was a deal, but today everything's in shambles because that system became oppressive to women. So the women, so from what I understand, and white women decided to take charge with her man for that. But our system, it was always different because, again, this is epigenetics. And this is epigenetics. Now, I know people, we have the slavery period, but you were enslaved you were enslaved for 500 years, a little bit less than that. But you were running empires for thousands of years, thousands. So you always naturally go into a state. Even though we have been systematically brainwashed, even though, we have had some ups and downs, but we don't necessarily have that same history. We don't have a history with Black men treating us the way the white men treated his woman. Now, up until 1,000 years ago, we were all good. But 1,000 years ago, when they declared war and said, look, get rid of this Queen Mothership shit, everything goes to shit. Everything went to shit. But no, historically, Black men do not have a history of oppressing Black women in their matriarchal societies. And during the matriarchal periods, no. But after the Queen Mothership was overthrown and Islam comes into play and Christianity comes into play, that is a different story. But to be honest, we really didn't still have a period besides the warfaring, because we got colonized and Black people got enslaved and they got colonized. So, so I make that point to say that we just don't have that same history, as much as we want to think we do. But they are today, with them copying this white man, with them copying that system. That's where the issues is coming in. That's what's causing the problems that we're having. That's what's causing it. That's why I keep saying we need the Queen Mothership. Because now this Black man, he's all on the internet spewing indoctrination that he learned from the white man about Black women needing to be quiet. Black women need to submit. They need to bow down, when they don't have a history of that. You trying to tell this Black woman, you trying to tell the divine feminine, the quantum plane, the raw creative dark triple darkness energy, you're trying to tell that energy that they need to submit to you when you were born out of her ass, breastfed by her breast. Who breastfed you? Who kept you alive? Where did you stay for 9 months to get developed? What the hell is you doing? Why are you telling the portal that brought you in this world that somehow they need to be dominated by you? Why would anyone want to dominate anyone? Why would a human want to be dominated? Why? Ask yourself, where and what universe would a creature seek to be beneath another creature? Now, you can be dominated through brute force and brute strength, but you don't see this in nature. So if you can find where the males and the women, what your system is, if you can prove to me, which you can't because I've already did the research, that the ideas that you got from Christianity and Islam about women and men, if you can prove that in nature, then I can get with it. But you can't. You can't prove that in nature, whether those animals are matriarchal and patriarchal. But the smartest animals on this planet are matriarchal. The most coolest animals, whether it's your elephant, your lion, your orca whale, your dolphin, your bonobo monkey, your hyena, your horse, your cows. These are matriarchal societies. Even when you look at the plant kingdom, you know that there's matriarchal plant kingdoms? When you study the way the plants grow, from the female plants to the male plants. Like, this is deep shit. When we talk about the divine feminine, I'm telling you, you've been lied to. So I can go throughout nature. I don't need no textbook, no religion to tell me shit about the divine feminine. All I gotta do is go out in nature and study some damn animals somewhere, some damn plants, and see the divine nature of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. That's all I gotta do. That's all you gotta do. And you will see that what I'm saying is true. And then we can go into the sciences and the spirituality of it. But I'm like, all you need is damn nature. So why do the black man feels today he needs to say to this black woman that you want to be dominated, that you need to submit? And then it's like, submit to what? What infrastructures do you have? What infrastructures do you run? And I'm not coming at anybody because I see what happened. I know, I understand. I have compassion for how we got, for our people's plight. I do. More than probably any woman on the planet. But the days of excuses is over. The days of but to be honest, you demanding all these things from the women, but when the women start to demand things of you or say something about you, it's like you have an allergy to accountability, and you bashing me, you hate black men, and you talking feminism, and I'm like, y'all have collectively more feminist ideas than any group of women on the planet. Why? Is because you're naturally egalitarian. So I'm like, I just don't understand y'all. But y'all want to get into a hissy fit when someone talks about what you need to be doing, what you should be doing. It don't work that way. You don't get to, y'all love propping up Kevin Samuels when he was ripping the new asshole in black women, when he was telling black women, you need to do this, you need to do that. You was all perking ears. You was enjoying that, cooking roast beef sandwiches and drinking your little margarita, and you loved listening to him tell you about how this black woman needs to do this and A, B, and C, and she ain't doing this. But y'all wouldn't dare like it if some black woman come along and, yeah, black man, you need to be doing this. You need to be building your infrastructure. We need to get out of this system. We need to be undominated. You need to be doing this. And I don't like to bash people, but you hear me on multiple occasions, tell you, black man, okay, what's our plan? We need a plan. I like power. I'm very competitive. I like to be in positions of power and rulership. Don't you? So let's find a way to get back in power. Let's find a way as black folk, black men's and black women's to get in power. That's why I come with the Queen Mothership, because I'm like, that's how we gonna get back in power. And and you say to me that I'm crazy. You say to me what, we don't need to work on the plan. What you trying to do? What you do? You get all scared and you looking at me like I got two damn heads. Nah. And it's not, and to be honest, if you can hear me talking, I don't operate from a place of hate. I operate from a place of love. So even though it may be tough love, or it may be uncomfortable to hear a woman talk like this, this is where it's at. I call a spade a spade. Okay? But everything that you've been saying, you've been indoctrinated. Okay? And you have to just think of who, if you are in a spirit in a human body, who seeks to be dominated? No one has the right to dominate you. That's why in the matriarchy, in the Queen Mothership, the women are not allowed to dominate no damn man. It's not no man be submissive to no woman. It's not what the Queen Mothership is about. That is crazy. And it's vice versa. It's vice versa. You are an equal being. Y'all have different functions. You have penis. She got vagina. Y'all are man and woman. Divine feminine, divine masculine is complementary. They work together. You have reciprocation. You have complementation. You have cooperation. This is what it is. The laws of electromagnetism. The coming together. The coming together for enjoyment. To build more organizations and organisms. This is what the divine feminine, divine masculine should be doing. Working in tandem. Together to make life easier. To enjoy the good life. But they have to work together to build something for themselves. That is what the Queen Mothership is about. Okay? It is not about domination. You cannot dominate in a matriarchy, even if you study these animals. I do have to say, y'all lucky we not hyenas. Because, oh man, I ain't gonna hold you. The women, because they're matriarchy. Those hyenas, they got those male hyenas in check, boy. Oh my goodness, you'd be shocked if you saw how, and it's another creature too. The lemurs. Oh man, I feel bad for lemur males. Now, you're lucky we ain't model our system after that. The Queen Mothership is not ran like that. How the lemurs and the hyenas run theirs. Those females, they be spanking those males. They be jumping them. They jump on them. They do all types of crazy shit to the males. I'm like, oh my gosh, the women eat first. They beat down the males. And so one of the creatures I want to say is like the gazelles. The women, they be fighting over the men. The women just get into full blown fights over the men. They're matriarchal too. And they push it. They literally get into physical fights. So who's going to have sex with the male? The male gets so confused. Like the males just be looking like, okay, they're fighting. You can watch this online. So you can watch all this stuff like online or on a Discovery Channel. And they beat each other's asses. The women, they beat each other's asses. And whoever wins gets to have sex with the male. And then sometimes the women, they all jump on the male. They all want to turn at him. And it is just so fascinating to watch animals. And no, I don't think we have higher consciousness than them, but I can go into stories for days. Like I can give you so many interesting, cool stories about how these mammals, these males and these females, how they interact with one another. It is so, that's why I come to my conclusion about this Queen Mothership, because I'm like, wow, that's cool. Now again, I'm not saying we model our system after hyenas, because that's just ridiculous the way they treat their males. But again, egalitarian. Think of the bonobo monkeys. Do you ever study the bonobo monkeys? They're matriarchal. And what they do is it's fuck fest every day. It's sex every day. Now, what the bonobo females, they just freaks, and the males sometimes they like to get into fights with one another, or if they're gonna fight, have a whole war breaks out. What the women would do, as the men are ready to, they get into fighting position, they're ready to fight, and what the women do is they go up there butt ass naked and they just jump on the men and start fucking. They just be like, let's go. And then the men, they not ready to fight no more. They have these women, they do this every day. They actually the freakiest besides dolphins. Now, I would tell you what the dolphins be doing. But the monkey, they got plenty of sense. Don't let them fool you. That animals got plenty of consciousness in their bodies. Whew, I'm so fascinated with them. But they jump on the males and they just get the fucking, they be doing oral sex too. And that's the bonobo monkey. So when I say think of bonobo monkey, think of the elephant. I think of orca whales. When I talk about the Queen Mothership, the orca whales, if you ever study their military style precision on hunting, like they literally set up plans, they train. And guess who does the training? The women. The women teaches the male, the women teaches, because you got to figure, the orca whales are matriarchal too. And they have their sons, and there's a lot more females than males. So the females do the training for a military style training on how to, and it is fascinating. And they are the second animal for brain to body mass. They are the second largest brain to the human. They dolphin and whale and orca whale. Man, fascinating creatures, fascinating societies and systems and social structures. It is beautiful, and they are matriarchal. So even when I was studying doing this Queen Mothership stuff, and I was looking at our stuff, but I was also looking at the animals too. I'm like, whoa, because melanated people study animal. Melanated people look at nature to get their clues. They get in tune with the earth. They study the stars. They study it. They want to be immersed with the land, because there's knowledge in the land. There's knowledge, in water. There's knowledge in animals, So that's how we get our ideas of relation to one another. So, this is the order of the divine feminine. So now today, why do you see the Black woman indoctrinated with this thinking? Black woman and Black man. They're getting it from religion. They're getting it from the white man. It's programming that's literally against nature. If I can give y'all all my brain and show you all of the information that I have about studying these animals, studying this spiritual system, studying this ancient society, studying the iconography of the divine feminine for thousands and thousands of years, then you will be like, it will click in your damn head. And then if you look at Black people stuff, just melanated, go through all melanated people stuff and just study it, and you will be like, you know what? Okay, let's see about this Queen Mothership, because it's a system that's going to get us back in power. It surely will. It surely will. And the Black woman, she's refusing today to implement that Queen Mothership, and that's going to be to her detriment. Okay, she is totally the ideas that the Black woman has. And we've seen her do some amazing things throughout the years and throughout history. But what if she did that same ingenious ideas to build herself and her community an infrastructure for one, thinking of other women and baby girls, thinking of her progeny. All she got to do is think of her children. That's all she got to do. Now, I know some women think, oh, I'm the woman. Why do the men need to do it? Why I got to do it? It's not like that. Don't view it that way. Don't view it. They're going to build too with you. But what I'm saying is using your brain and developing your own infrastructure as a safety net for women. Even if the men don't get on board, Black woman, even if the Black man doesn't get on board, who cares? It's a safety net for you, for women. You get too old and we don't have Social Security no more. What the fuck are you gonna do? You need a system. You need processes. What are you gonna do if you don't have kids? Who's gonna take care of you? Who's gonna look after you? You have to think of infrastructures for yourself first. No one is going to build it for you. Not no white man, not no black man, not no white woman, not no Asian, not no Hispanic man, none of this stuff. You're not going to go to any patriarchy where they're going to build something just for your black ass as a woman. The melanated woman. No one's going to build for the melanated woman. The melanated woman is God. She gave birth to the human race. So she knows, she has the key. She has the science. She has ancient wisdom in her womb on how this whole universe is constructed. It's a fact. Now, she may not know. It may be dormant. That's why you have to awaken. I know I'm awakened. I'm enlightened. So I know what is inside of your brain. The genius that lies there. The high sciences. You know how to build those pyramids. That's how your ass figured out you got these equations to go to outer space and shit. And your cells all in the Gila cell and all this stuff. The healing cell that created the human race, healing the whole damn planet again with the Gila cell. And coming up with all types of damn inventions. Coming up with fiber optic cables and all this shit. And you know this knowledge. So why do you think that you can have that level of intelligence and not think you're supposed to build something for yourself? Not that you're supposed to build no infrastructure for yourself, for the sisterhood, regardless if a male is in the picture or not. Now, they are obviously in here. If they want to be in the Queen Mothership, they can be in this Queen Mothership. We encourage male species. We encourage the masculine to come and build with us. We want them here. Shit, if the black man ain't gonna do it, then black woman, you pick whoever you want to do it with. But if he's willing and ready to do it, and he's saying this, okay, what's this Queen Mothership shit y'all talking about? Y'all talking about y'all gonna build some infrastructures for yourself. What can I do to help? They will. You can get plenty of black men. Trust me, you'll get plenty. You won't get every black man, but you'll get the ones you want. You'll get the ones you need, the ones you really need to be procreating with. Because this system is the one that's going to get y'all back in power. It is. No other system. Okay? But this black woman, she wants to suppress her divine feminine. She's not tapping into the raw triple darkness inside of her womb. That's what the divine feminine is. That is the quantum plane. Okay? Okay, she has organizing skills. She has planning skills. She has nature skills. She has shaman skills. She has healing skills. She has technology skills. She has sex skills. She has everything that she needs to run the world. But she wants to suppress the divine feminine because she says the man needs to lead her. Your ass got led to colonization and slavery, helping overthrow the dark goddesses' daughters, the daughters of Kali. What happened to you for overthrowing that Queen Mothership, black people? Yeah, so this is what we need. Okay? Your power got stripped from you 2,000 years ago. And your own sons did it. So, we need to get, I'm telling you, we've been getting our karma, getting our ass slapped up. We've been down and out. We have went through enough. Now we have a system that's on top of us called with this hegemonic system where white people are dictating the infrastructure, where they have set up these systems where we have limited power. Yes, you can be powerful within this system and the matrix, but I'm talking about, obviously, look at the state of Africa. And I'm talking about, even with black Americans being at the bottom caste, in America, and then, in the Caribbean. Let's keep it real. We are not where we need to be as a global melanated people, and even individually as our tribes. We need to get back in power. It is time. It is your time now to things to go, the pendulum to swing back in your favor. It's happening. It's happening. It's inevitable. So you need to be preparing. Every day you need to be preparing to realize that at any moment you're going to have to be the leader to step up to help run a part of this society, a part of this globe. Whether that's in the tech field, medicine field, education, oil, water field, any field, any field you can think of. You're going to have those skill sets and that knowledge and the ability to work together to get and back in power with those skills. Absolutely. Okay? As the incarnation of Kalima on earth, I'm here to teach Black women and men about these egalitarian structures that they can build parallel to the infrastructures that currently dominate them, so that they can have the self-determination and autonomy. Okay? That is all the Queen Mothership is about. The Queen Mothership Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 gives you your history. It gives you the specific tribes of who was practicing the melanated. I didn't catch them all. I didn't cover them all. Because if I could go back, I had to add more tribes. I found more tribes. I found all North America doing the same thing. So I would have to go back and add more. But part 2, part 1 also gives you your a little bit about culture. How do you plan culture values? How do you do ritual? Create your own rituals. Create your own culture plans. Things to venerate one another. Values and tenets that you can implement in your society. That's what part 1 was about. Part 2 goes right into building, goes right into enterprise architecture, goes right into building a civilization, building micro cities, building urban villages, taking care of yourself. It's complete autonomy. Goes into complete autonomy. So, a Black woman, you need these infrastructures. The Black woman has to build them out for herself first. She has to build these systems out as a safety net for herself and just run her damn community the way she wants to see fit. Now the men, they have councils. They have defense class. The men are in power too, because for every Queen Mothership chapter, there is one man and one woman. There's one man and one woman. There is also a male council called the Council of Formidable Men and the Queen Mothership Council of Women. And there's a council of elders, and there must be an equal number of men and women on the elder council. So there is balance within the Queen Mothership. But at the same time, the Black woman is building out that infrastructure, and pretty much she's utilizing her community. She's found the way to incentivize her community to build the infrastructures with her, male and female. She's the one, though, that is pretty much doing the planning, doing the organizing, and deciding what we need as a community, and getting the ball rolling, and delegating, and executing the plans, and implementing the plans. And obviously men are in that stage too. So that is what the Queen Mothership is about. Okay? So the Black woman, she doesn't know that, this idea when we talk about, the Black woman is God. That's what I grew up hearing. The Black woman is God. That's not no new idea. That's an ancient idea. This can be found 6,000 years old. You can find this with the, if you look at the Oni and Ife doctrine with the Oduduwa, that they talking about the black womb, black cosmic womb. It's literally the black cosmic womb that we live in. It's the Africans. Then it can be found in the Hindu texts, the concept of Shakti, Kali, the dark one, the black one, American folklore with Califia. So we got all of this, these teachings are old. So the Black woman, I know you may feel like, why I gotta do it? I want to just paint my nails and sit in the house and be a housewife and I want the man to do everything for me, and I just want to play with pink. Oh, you can still definitely do that. It's not like you can't even do that. Just know that you should be building your own fucking infrastructures. Just know that y'all should be coming together as sisters and building something for yourself. We talking about high level. We talking about whole cities, honey. Whole cities out here should be built by you. Can be, but you always building up somebody else shit. Look how you always building up. You look at the black woman that's in running for politics and in government and stuff like that. They building up somebody else's infrastructure. Where's your infrastructure? When you get sick, when you need money, when you need rent money, when you need help with school, when you need help with escorting in terms of being escorted to places that you don't want to walk by yourself, you may be a dangerous area. Where in terms of helping you when you get old and your family member not helping you or something, you need an infrastructure to go to. You need a Queen Mothership. You can turn to the Queen Mothership, and we have resources. We have a network, high level network. We have a bond. We have a sisterhood. We have a whole communities, whole cities, whole connections. You need a job. We got you. You need food. We got you. We got community gardens out here. We got food co-ops. We got babysitting co-ops. We got land. We got mad shit. The black woman does this. That's what the Queen Mothership Part 2 talks about. Where's your infrastructure? Stop saying black men need to build us an infrastructure. They ain't building no damn infrastructure. And if they did build it, you won't be the benefactor of it. And they showed you that with the Moors and what they was doing to you. During when they was all in Europe ruling, he saw how they was treating you and that white woman and that white man. We see what they'll do to you. So you gotta take the reign on this one and rock with those who rock with you, like-minded people. You have to do it on your terms. You have to do this shit on your terms. This is your planet. Okay, and stop thinking that somebody gonna do something. And even if you say you gonna divest, and you gotta, then you don't have no community, because you already know y'all go through a lot when you with these interracial relationships, even with the white side. And them white people are not building no infrastructures for black women. They're not about to build no infrastructure en masse for black women, for their sisterhood. That don't even sound that they never did no shit like that. You gotta do it yourself. You got to do it yourself. No other group of people are going to do it for you. They're not. And we talking about high level networks, or the likes of which you have never seen, where it's one phone call and we find out you're a black American woman, and you saying you need a job. You got a job the next motherfucking day. We got databases of jobs, and we have databases of we have ownership of the land. We have built our own literal houses. We have built, it's just real high level, that book. You gotta get that book, The Queen Mothership Enterprise Architecture. It's like, even if they was to take our money, even if they was to take everything from us, we want to practice autonomy to the death. And if the men, they want to build, look, y'all more than welcome in the Queen Mothership. Cause the shit's ran by you, so it ain't like they could come up in your shit acting a fool, unless your male identified ass do the same thing you did 2,000 years ago and get your ass smacked up again. But what I'm telling you is, you do this right and have an egalitarian, and have, the men are involved. And read the book. The men ain't just off the hook. They got shit they got to do too. They have power. There's male leadership within the Queen Mothership. They're equal roles. This is an egalitarian system. But what I'm trying to tell this black woman is that it's an egalitarian matriarchal system. It's a matriarch. What you see in this black community today, what you see in this damn black community today, this is not no fucking matriarchy. There is no order. There is no structure. There is no organization. There is no infrastructure. That is not no motherfucking matriarchy. Just because there's fatherless damn homes and broken homes everywhere, that's some bullshit. That's the remnants of white supremacy. That's motherfuckers not standing up for themselves. This is what happens when these white folks are still dominating us. That's not matriarchy. Matriarchy is when the black woman says, let me build my infrastructures in my own goddamn communities, in my own cities, and we gonna have egalitarian matriarchal systems. You still have massive institutions. Matriarchy is not no damn bullshit that you see right now in this black community where there's single parent homes and shit. There is no single parent homes and no damn matriarchy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You cannot just procreate willy nilly in the Queen Mothership. No, there is no just you lay down and just get fucked and then you just pregnant all of a sudden and you gonna keep the baby and the father not in sight. That shit is not existing in no damn Queen Mothership. Hell no, because we teach the young girls, we teach the baby boys about relationships and sexuality very early. Not literally about sex acts, but we talking about how to value one another, how to value their womb, how to value their penis, so that they don't make the mistake of becoming a teenage mother or becoming a single parent. We teach them very young what to do. We teach them confidence very young. We teach them self-love very young. We teach them self-esteem. We teach them, like it's like it's values. There's culture built within this Queen Mothership. Okay, so why are we covering this? So now we're going to move into the psychoanalysis of a male-identified black woman who went on Twitter pandering to men, wanting to worship men. And I want to prove how black men subconsciously and naturally are egalitarian, and how the male-identified black woman, she continues to be a fool. She continues to be the detriment of this community along with weak men. They make the community weak when they do this behavior, because instead of worrying about this Queen Mothership, she's thinking about how she can pander to this patriarchy when she ain't getting shit out of it anyways. It's a failed patriarchy. So let's see what she had to say, and I want to show you the responses of all the black men. Okay, we're gonna go and look at this. Okay, so this is a baby girl. She says a man not supposed to cook, wash dishes, or his clothes if he got a woman. So here we going with the more patriarchal notions of what the divine feminine is. It's not rooted, this is what she thinks the woman should be doing if she's with a man. And now we're going to look at the responses. Most of these responses is going to shock you, but they don't shock me. But this is for you male-identified black women out here. Listen to what these women are saying. I mean, listen to what these men are saying. Okay, so she says a man not supposed to cook, wash dishes, or wash his clothes if he got a woman. Okay, and now I look at these comments. Someone says, wifey is a doctor, so we switched it up. I would have to be pretty stupid to pit my manhood against our family's financial security. Here's another one. He says, depends, but no one should be assigned anything. What if she's working outside the home too? If you love someone, you make it work, period. Here's another. I think this might be a woman, but this is a man. Okay, that sounds like a woman. I'm not even gonna read that one. Here's a black man. He says, I can understand if she's a stay-at-home woman, then it's cool. But most of the women aren't. So we go help each other out to lighten the load. I love cooking anyways. So this is the response from black men to this black woman when she's sitting here pandering, when she's sitting here doing all this I'm gonna worship stuff and being a pick-me essentially. Now, people do what they got to do to get it how they get it. That's their business. But what I find interesting is I'm trying to tell you that this is an egalitarian creature, and you not understanding that they're naturally egalitarian and copying off of the white male system. And if some of them, they subconsciously are, and they think that they're not though. Some black men, their subconscious behavior is egalitarian, but their conscious behavior is not. They try to copy white men.
not realizing that all of their subconscious behaviors are egalitarian. So let's look at this next one. He says, I love cooking though. I've been busting suds since I was 7. Ain't no shame in my game. Here's another black man. He says, this is supreme bullshit. Here's another black man. Even if I had a woman, I still do these things. The fuck? Here's another black man. If he won't cook for you, then he's either lazy or a garbage cook. A relationship is a partnership, not an oath of subservience. This is another black man. Bro, be for real. Nobody taking care of a whole household by themselves in this economy. Both people need to participate. Here's another black man. How y'all always want to be progressive and push for equality, but have this old way of thinking? Here's another black man. Shit. If something need to be cleaned and I can clean it, the fuck I'm gonna call you out your comfort for. Watch the fuck. Oh, let me just do this again because this man, he all over the place. Shit. Shit is spelled S-H-Y-D. Lord have mercy. Shit. If something need to be cleaned and I can clean it, the fuck I'm gonna call you out your comfort for. Watch the fuck out. I got it. This is another black man. You never had a man cook for you, wash the dishes, glass of wine, and rub your feet? Here's another black man. But I'm Jamaican and I can cook, so we both can cook. Teamwork. But I live that energy. Not chauvinistic though, but that energy is highly appreciated. And he says, this next one says, nah, I do all this for my girl. Here's another black man. I disagree. Cooking is my piece. Here's another black man. Now that just sounds stupid. What about when she a little tired and gotta take care of her shit? I'm cooking, cleaning, and some more shit for mine. Here's another. I don't think this is like a white man. I thought he was a light-skinned black man. He says, don't worry. The world is chock full of misogynists that'll treat you exactly like a replacement mother when they get to have sex with. Another black man. I'll still do it myself though. Here's another black man. Good luck with that. Here's another black man. Stingy about my food, little mama. You can do the grocery shopping, but step away from pots and pans. Here's another black man. It all depends. Just say he can't cook. Here's another black man. Nah, some men cook better than women. Here's another black man. I wish y'all stopped saying this shit. Here's another black man. This is stupidity. That's why men look at women as objects now. So this is what this black man is saying. And I'm telling you, it was the rest of the comments was from women. It was a lot of women. Obviously they dug her a new asshole. But most of the men on there. Sorry, I had to drink a little bit of water. Most of the men on there were saying the same things these guys got. I mean, I think y'all get the point. But it was like every comment was saying the same damn thing. Like, what is you doing? And so I say that to say, black women, is that you have to let go of this indoctrination and realize that we had naturally egalitarian systems. Naturally egalitarian. So you're going to be hard pressed to find what you look. If you try to project everything you see white men and white women doing onto black people, you're going to go downhill. And that go for black men and black women. If y'all look at white people and say, oh, that's what we got to be doing. The same way he treating her, I'm going to do it. She got the same way she act. My black woman got to act the way he act. That's the way he needs to act. If y'all do that, y'all will not rise. Y'all will never, ever get back in power doing that. Ever. It is not our nature. It will never work. It will never work. It's not working now. It's not working now. Look how this black woman is doing. Like, she's not standing up for herself. She's not building her own infrastructures. Look how she's getting got. Look how you treating her. Look how your behavior is. Look at your lack of power. Do you want to get back in power? So we need to do this Queen Mothership again. It's as simple as that. Now look at this. Look at what I said, and look who retweeted it. Look who retweets it. And this happens all the time. This happens. All of my relationships with black men have all been egalitarian. They try to act like, again, consciously, they try to mimic white men. But once you get into their subconscious mind and their behaviors, oh, it's completely egalitarian. is completely egalitarian. That don't mean that they didn't have any leadership role or anything like that, but they were the most egalitarian guy. Like pretty much, I'm free to, I felt free. Like I felt like I could be myself and shit, and do and but some guys, they get a little intimidated by my intelligence. But other than that, some guys are very, very turned on by it. Some black men listen to me 8 hours talk straight. Like, no lie, I've been around black men that will listen to me talk for 8 hours straight about this Queen Mothership shit too. Even my own dad sit and listen to it. My dad is very stringent with gender roles. My dad is completely brainwashed, thinking that just Western stuff. But he is opening up more and saying, you know what? I think you got a point here. I think, you may be on to something. Maybe you're not too out there after all. You really got some ideas there that can work, So my dad is learning. Even my own dad is like, okay, I understand what you're talking about because I have the evidence. And the books are well structured out, It's not like right now I'm just going off the dome, but the books, they're well thought out. Like this system that I came up with, this system in my head of what we need to be doing as a community to get ourselves back in power. Like, it can actually work. It can. But this black woman gotta be ready to build her infrastructure. She do. If the black woman don't build her Queen Mothership, she'll never have another Queen Mothership. She'll never have another Queen Mothership again if she don't build it out herself. So look at what I said. I said black men are naturally egalitarian creatures. The divine masculine and divine feminine focuses on pragmatism, nature, and efficiency to make life easier in the village community for one another. Who is loving, who is liking that and retweeting that? The black man. I'm telling y'all, this is their nature. They are egalitarian. Okay? Right now they want to act like they're out of their minds. A lot of them are demonic, and a lot of them you need to stay away from. A lot of them they just done. Okay? But there are a lot of black men that understand what I'm saying. You will be shocked at the men who have bought that Queen Mothership book, called me, we talk about it. And they you know what, it don't sound half bad what you're talking about. It sound like, something I can get with. If enough black women stand up and do it, the men ain't got no choice. And they benefit from it. So many are going to willingly help you. Many are willingly going to say, you know what? I get power in this Queen Mothership. I'm not getting emasculated. I don't feel like, I'm getting degraded. I'm not dominated. I'm not abused in any way. I'm not disrespected in the Queen Mothership. Like, I get a chance to be masculine. I get a chance to, because we don't shun masculinity. Okay? In the Queen Mothership, we love strong masculine men that stand up for themselves, that's in power. That's what the Queen Mothership actually rewards. That's what the Queen Mothership rewards is a man who stands in true masculinity, building his society with his woman, helping conduct this infrastructure, offering skills, offering leadership skills. Now, we know that we won't get everybody on board, but there'll be plenty of black men, plenty of men for the black woman when she builds her infrastructures. It don't matter, whatever she wants to do. But she, if she's worried about, okay, is the men gonna, the men don't want that. The men are going, look at our planet Earth. Look at what they have done to our planet Earth since their leadership. Seriously. Look at the pollution. Look at the animals. Look at the food industry. Look at everything that you see running around here as a result of male leadership. Okay? And then your black self, then your melanated self won't study your history. When did you ever have this system? You haven't. But it was overthrown. So that's why I'm saying and advocating for the Queen Mothership. Again, it is a fair system. The divine masculine and the divine masculine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine are working together. They are egalitarian to one another. They are respectful to one another. They give reciprocation, loyalty, complementation, and cooperation to one another. They give commitment to one another. They want power. They want to see successful societies, running civilizations. They want to see powerful institutions and structures that they have built themselves, that they benefit from, that they can go to, that they build in their own safety nets for themselves. They have safety net, high level systems, high level networks, databases that can procure us our services, that can give us the benefits that we need. Seriously. Okay? So we covered those tweets because Black women, you really got to get out of that thinking. Because you need to get out of this mode of thinking that you're a divine feminine. It's some stuff that you found in the Bible somewhere, whatever you're getting these ideas from. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because Black men are naturally egalitarian. Okay? All you have to do is be yourself, be respectful. Both people need, again, it goes beyond the surface level stuff when it comes to relating to one another. You have to get beyond the shallow shit. We talking about your souls, connecting the souls, building those systems that allow for one another to be respected, heard. And again, if the Black community, a lot of the people in the Black community are out of their mind. If they don't want to stand, if they don't want to do right by themselves and start to build for themselves, we have a right to get away from these people. We have to only focus on the Black women and men that want to build. That's all you need to focus on is who wants to build. Who's about that life? Who's ready to get empowered? Who's ready to look out for one another? Who wants to build a safety net that only they can benefit from? Okay, it's you. Let's do that. Only us. Let's protect one another. Let's really ride for one another. Let nobody come in between us. It's like a very powerful system. Okay? So if there's some niggas that's not doing what they supposed to be doing, we can't save them. We cannot do anything with them. There's going to be plenty of Black women and Black men. They just going to be falling to the wayside. They're going to get literally swallowed up by this matrix. They gone. They in the matrix. There's nothing you can do about it. They are comfortable giving a power away, externalizing their power, not being in power, subjugation. They comfortable with everything they going through, and you gotta just build with motherfuckers that want to build, man. Seriously. So Black women, just know that it's time to build your own infrastructures. It's time to implement this Queen Mothership again. It is, and this Black man, he is egalitarian. He'll be okay. There's gonna be plenty of Black men that don't mind. Plenty. You'll be shocked. Now it's gonna be some that try to come for you. That's why we do need a defense team. But we have that. We can do that ourselves, and we have men that will help us. Okay, but the Queen Mothership is based on a system of egalitarian structure that is matriarchal, based off of what you see in nature, based off of what you see in science, based what you also see in spirit world. Okay? You don't need no books to tell you what I'm telling you. Just take your ass and study them animals. Study them animals, and you will see what I'm saying is true. The dark energy, the divine feminine is the quantum realm. The dark energy, the divine feminine is the quantum realm. It is the realm of creation and destruction. It is the raw triple darkness of the universe. That is an explosive power. That is what the dark feminine is. That is what the Black woman is. The Black woman is a genius when she applies her mind in the right way. Okay? And you give birth to the Black man, so of course he has those same things in him. I don't want you to say, well, I have that too. It's not about a competition. This is about telling this Black woman who she is, telling this Black woman that it's her time to shine. It is her time to get back in power. She has to build her own infrastructure. She has to love her sisters again. She's going to have to build a sisterhood.
She absolutely is. Okay? So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. This was a long one. Let me get, oh shit, another 2-hour video. Okay, y'all, let me get on out of here. I love you guys. You know, Kylie J.N.S, she just loves y'all. She don't mean no harm to nobody. She just, you know, I'm just talking my shit. But I'm dead serious about that Queen Mothership. I'm dead serious about that. But, you know, for the most part, I'm here as a force for good on this planet. I'm here as a force for good. Seriously, to the Black American, if they can see that. Okay, if they don't see that, you're only getting 10 years. I'm about to lower it down to 7. You may only be getting 7 years out of me. I'm only gonna do this for 10 years, and after that, I'm retiring. You know, unless I see you doing what you're supposed to do. If you implement the plans that I got, then I'll stay longer. I'll stay forever until I leave this planet. And then once I leave this planet, I'm building the whole universe. I'm building. They don't tell you this in the spirit world. You can build your own universes. You can actually build your own planets and your own utopias. They don't really teach you that, but you can. I know they tell you everything about you're going to go to heaven, you're going to go to hell, or you're going to reincarnate. You know that stuff. That's a whole. I got the tea on that. Like I got to do some spiritual videos for y'all on that stuff. But yeah. But you know, I'll be here as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because everything, you know, you're not just about to burn my energy up. No. If I come up with the plans and I come up with the systems and the structure and the processes, and I sit and do the research and I sit and put in the work, and I'm ready to get organized with you guys and start to do some things, and you guys don't budge, you will not be getting my time. No. I would just work with the Black woman, and we will just do a Queen Mothership with infrastructure that's more like a secret society just for Black women, and we'll just build something real high level. We'll build real high level networks. We're still gonna build them cities. We're still gonna build Black women cities then. But for now, I do have the Black community collective in mind, because that's very important to me. It's always been, but I have both of you guys in mind. But if I see that it's not working, and you know, if I'm talking to brick walls around here, then I'll have to make some executive decisions, and I may just leave doing this type of work altogether, and you know, do something that's I'll just do something else. I'll probably get into politics or something. But yeah, I'm here for you guys, and get that Queen Mothership Part 2 and Part 1. There's also a course on Nakhti University about the Queen Mothership as well, that goes deep and diving into the history. That goes real deep into the history. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later, okay? I love y'all. Be good.